Jeez.
Ah, that was a long week.
Dude, it's only Wednesday.
I know, right? We've been here for a while.
It feels like way longer than that.
Yeah.
So, first GSX.
First GSX. Congratulations on getting through it.
I know, we did it. High five. Freaking Andy's not here, though.
I know, I miss him so much.
You saw that video that he did?
I did. That was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Kudos, my friend. Kudos. I think you did it.
Very well done. He is the funniest of the three of us. I give him that.
That improv, right?
It's it's that improv background.
We should do a podcast, just the three of us.
We should.
Just talking about what the last year has been.
It's been crazy. We've done so much and we've traveled so much. It was brand new industry for the two of you and a fairly new industry for me. It's
you had a good 6-7 month head start.
It felt like a lot at the start.
So, what do you think? We launched off at ISC West, right? That was kind of our first big deal. We were all over the place. Like, I feel as if we were a chicken with the head cut off, analogy rather. But GSX was a little bit more calm for us. I guess we had a little bit less responsibilities, but we still feel as if we pumped out a good bit of content. What were your first impressions of your first GSX?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so different from ISC West, and I've really enjoyed both, but I think GSX was extra special because I recently took on a leadership role with my local ASIS chapter in Vancouver.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been so fantastic. It's been such a rewarding experience. And so it felt extra special to be with the ASIS community or ASIS.
I don't know. Which one is it?
I've heard both ways.
Is it ASIS? Is it ASIS?
Yeah. I say ASIS because that's how I started saying
that's
it.
That's how I started saying it. But then I heard people saying it differently. So I wasn't sure. Anyways, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
It's been great to catch up with my local chapter members and other people that have been involved in leadership with SIS. It's such a rewarding part of this career and this job. And I think, if anything, security industry has welcomed all of us with hands open, and it's been so great to build those connections. And I can't believe it's only been like a year in.
Right.
And I feel like there's just so many friendly faces and so many great people who've helped us and gave us good advice and kind of supported us all throughout. Of course, at Motorola, but outside as well.
Very much so. It feels, and I know it's not family, but there's almost this family feel. And I've heard people say that as far as the security industry is concerned, which is interesting because there's competitors, right? And so, but still, there seems as if there's this family here. People that I saw at ISC West or met at ISC West and seeing them at GSX, like, oh, hey, and hugs are going out everywhere. So you had Canada night, right, for your local chapter.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was the kickoff on Sunday here. It was so fun. There's so many familiar faces, so many new people that I met. There wasn't much Canadian about it, to be completely honest.
I saw there were some flags happening.
There were some flags, and I think there was some Canadian music playing, but they didn't bring in Canadian food or anything like that. No poutine, so missed that.
Was New Orleans food there?
Yes, there was quite a bit of New Orleans food. That was another highlight. I think just the food here has been phenomenal. I don't think I had a bad meal in New Orleans. Yeah,
I haven't had a bad meal. I did have a meal that I was not over the moon with, but it was still edible.
Exactly. For the most part, I enjoyed all the socializing, all the kind of side dinners and everything, all the events that we got to go to and connect with people from the industry and outside the industry with. I think yesterday was really cool to listen in how operational technology and things like your AC system can tie in well with security and produce not just energy savings, but better safety outcomes.
Yeah, insane how just all those different pieces, right? So System Surveyor, we did we did a couple of snippets with them, right? And then went around and doing learning more about digital twins and those things connecting. Then you got HVAC and all these different parts that I guess at one point in time were not necessarily security related, but how everything is converging out of that, right? And kind of a central point. kind of crazy.
Absolutely. It's one big system, right? And if you make it all work well and work together in a comprehensive manner, and this is kind of where we're going, I think, with Pelco, with the open platform approach, it's really cool to see what's possible with that and how much you can optimize things. And I think, being environmentally friendly is so important to all of us. It should be,
True.
right?
Yeah.
You were on that ECG panel
recently.
recently.
It's the sustainability one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's so cool to see how the use cases of our technology beyond just what's the obvious of recording an entrance or.
So I had this question that did the moderator panel for, what was it, the building of the future is what it was entitled as far as the panel conversation topic. And I had a question that I typed down in my phone. So I'm sitting up there, I pull out my phone because I'm like, I'm gonna ask this at the end. But everybody else started asking questions. But let me ask you. So I think it was Mike Davis with Halo. He started talking about the senses, and he said something that was along the lines of video cameras are the eyes, right? And so this thought just came into my head, and I'm gonna ask you, I don't know where I land with it. So we have our 5 senses, right? We have our eyes, we have the taste, we have the smell, we have the touch. And so if video cameras are our eyes, say the sensors such as Halo are our ears and our smell, right? Then what would the other senses be within the security industry?
Well, you know what? I think Halo can also be the taste a little bit probably too, because it can detect if there is pollutants and chemicals, right? And that's usually, I guess, what you taste. So I feel like Halo kind of covers them all in a way.
Shameless plug for Halo.
If you want to cover all the other senses of your building or your facility, check out Halo.
Right. Well, I'm not sure what touch would be though.
Yeah, that's a bit of a difficult one. I'm sure, there's probably some.
Access control, maybe?
Yeah, access or operational technology where maybe it can measure, if you're thinking about a manufacturing use case, perhaps like what's the pressure whenever, parts are getting created or something like that. I clearly don't work in manufacturing, so I'm having a hard time explaining what
don't know the lingo.
But I know that with things like Halo integrating into BACnet, there are so many other sensors and so much of the other technology that's around us that probably could measure something like,
You make a fair point.
Yeah.
I think I may start asking random people that question.
We should start. I'd love to go to a manufacturing technology conference because I think that's something that's maybe not very obvious.
Yeah.
The synergy between the two, safety, security, and manufacturing technology. But it's so interesting to hear how they're similar in a way. Challenges. So, for example, for cybersecurity, right? How do you protect a huge machine that costs millions of dollars to run every day? And if it stops running, it costs millions of dollars when it's not running and when that production stops, right?
Yeah.
How do you protect it from cyber threats? How do you make sure that it's running on up-to-date firmware? And it's, all the things that we're thinking about from the standpoint of connected technology and security. But how does that all work together?
Yeah, no, you make a valid point. I think I would want to visit a manufacturer as well.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more intrigued now that you have broken it down.
Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned a couple of things. So I'm gonna ask you directly. The highlight for you of GSX 2025.
Yeah. We've asked this question to a few people, and we've heard such a good variety of responses. I think one of my favorite responses to that question was steak. We've had a lot of steak all throughout the week. But I would say it's the people, and I'd say this time around felt like really we settled into our new roles as technical evangelists. We knew more people. Being able to spend more time with our partners here has been phenomenal, both from the technology partner perspective. I got to connect a lot with our VMS partners, Milestone and Salient, and I think we had a day with System Surveyor, our new partner, and so it's been so cool to put faces to names with people that we've been working for the last couple of months, but not necessarily had a chance to actually interact and spend that quality time together. But also our team is always phenomenal, and it's always great to see the team from all around North America and get to connect with them and hear their stories and brainstorm on how we can work together and what we can do better. So it's just been all around such a positive experience.
Sure.
What was the highlight for you?
Okay. So the food, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would toot that same horn. New Orleans has some really, really good food.
Yes.
Interested to see if Vancouver can match that level. All
We'll,
right. So
we'll
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 see.
try. We're being very strategic with our restaurant reservations.
So I would say that I didn't really experience any nightlife. I
Yeah.
turned in early, so I can't speak from that perspective. But as far as the conference itself, I was, and once again, first time coming to GSX, and maybe it's always this way. The people, and let me double click into that. How many different countries and different companies that were from outside of the United States coming in, showcasing, and seeing all the different types of people walking the floor, being interested in security. And this is, and although I've been in the cyber part of security for 20-ish years, I did not know the physical security realm was such a potent field. And so walking through, seeing everything, and really getting to spend time with end users, I think I enjoyed that kind of the most. Had the opportunity to have more in-depth conversations with end users. And so I found that part a bit more fascinating.
At ISC, you hear so much more on the integration business perspective.
Yeah.
And because we work so much with integrators, it's really fascinating to hear their perspective and kind of what they're coming up against, right? And how they're changing their business models, right? To make sure that they're building those recurring revenue streams and opportunities, that they're staying top of all the technology that's constantly changing. And how they're navigating challenges in industry, like just shortage of staffing. Getting good talent is difficult, right?
Everyone says that.
Yeah, yeah.
This comes up a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I think you mentioned this earlier. It's a large industry that feels small because people generally have been in it for a while. Everyone kind of knows each other. Everyone goes from generally one company to another and back. And so it's great to hear and to see that connection in person. But to your point, I think having an opportunity to connect with end users and hear their applications, hear what they're up against from the threat perspective, and how those threats have evolved significantly over the past, 5 to 6 years since the pandemic. It's a different world we're living in.
Yeah. There was where we went last night, was that the Ledlow group or something of that nature?
Yeah.
And what someone called out as far as what is everyone's emotional intelligence.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I've never taken an emotional intelligence assessment before. I've taken the IQ, the personality ones, all of that nature. But just to your point, as far as it's kind of a different world from that standpoint. And even from that conversation last night that we attended, which they were talking about alluding to how people can be trained based upon AI, the security within AI, or I guess how physical security plays out through AI. And for example, I was saying, oh, the alerts that will happen if you are what's the phrase when someone comes out or comes through a door behind you?
Tailgating.
Tailgating. There we go. When people are tailgating and bam, I got a notification that someone's tailgating, and habits being improved and changed because this was also a term that we heard last night of AI being the bad guy. Let AI be the bad guy.
Yeah. Let the chat bot alert you of someone tailgating or doing something that they're not supposed to be, rather than having a security guard come in there and apprehend them. One thing that comes to mind as you say this, and I'll put my corporate hat on for a second. Our motto is helping people be their best in the moments that matter.
The old one, the previous one.
Yes, the previous motto, right? Yeah. And so I think seeing that in action and hearing some of those stories in action has been so powerful because yes, of course, we work in security technology, and so we get to nerd out about the features on the AI and all the analytics. But when you hear about, hey, this is what happens when there is an active shooter event, or whenever there is, some other dangerous thing that's happening, how do you use that technology to the best of its ability, and how do you make sure that it's actually operational,
Yeah.
that it's providing the right information, the right context to the right people at the right time to hopefully make that situation go away, make sure that everyone's safe, and help kind of navigate that with as much grace and as much, safety, and have that situation be resolved for everyone. Yeah. So it's been interesting to hear some of that.
So, funny story. Maybe funny, maybe not funny. So, the first day that I joined Motorola, I released a video, right? Have you seen it?
I believe so. Yeah.
So,
That was a while ago.
it was a while ago, right? Well, I'm coming up on a year. But the same day I started, I released the video. And I thought to myself, the reason I did, oh, this is my role. I'm just getting in practice, starting my reps, right? And so at the end of that video, I recall saying the old motto of helping people be their best in the moments that matter, or whatever it was. And I remember Sharon Hung commenting, and oh yeah, and we are solving for safer.
We are solving for safer. That's the number one. I do also like the old motto, though. I think that's something that we still carry as something that's really important to us and always with us, right? Because when you think about technology and what we do, sometimes the essence of it goes away of where it actually gets used. And a lot of the times, our technology is not used for saving lives. Sometimes it is for, overseeing manufacturing processes, or making sure, again, like no one's tailgating. But then sometimes, and hopefully those times are rare, is when a critical event happens and you want to make sure that you have first responders there. You want to make sure that you have the eyes on the scene. And so having that kind of perspective has been really valuable.
I think that would be another, I'm not sure if it's a takeaway or something that I would like to see more physical security, public safety companies do, is keeping the thought in mind, the North Star being, we are solving the problem of keeping people safe, and everyone going towards that being the North Star for the entire physical security industry. And so it's just a random thought that I had right in this moment. And so we don't have to flesh that out, but it would be, and I don't know, because I don't, obviously, we don't know all the physical security companies or security companies that are in this industry. But if we can make that just the North Star kind of everything we do, is do it. We're just all trying to protect people. Yeah, money matters, and livelihood and all those things, but in the essence of it, just trying to protect lives, right, and keep people safe.
One of the end users I got to connect with at this conference, they do ship terminals, and so they have a lot of heavy machinery and heavy equipment. And one of their primary use cases for video security is making sure that no one wanders into some of these restricted areas where equipment can really hurt them, right? Yeah. And it's such a duh thing, but without having cameras there, having adequate access control there, how do you prevent that from happening? And so it was kind of fascinating to hear, yes, you have all these analytics, you have all these things that work together, but we're all working towards, like you say, that same goal of how do we protect people and how do we protect communities, and make, hopefully, everyone's life a little bit easier and a little bit safer.
Hopefully. Cross fingers. Yeah. So maybe last question. AI labels.
Yes.
Motorola AI labels. I don't know. Has it been 2 months? A month? 2 months?
Few months at least, yeah.
I can't recall when we did it, but I know we had cookies that had scribbles of AI labels on there. I think you went around, you asked a couple people the AI questions. How do people respond? Well, I said that was my last question, but maybe just shift the topic.
Yeah.
Right? So how do people respond when you asked them the AI related questions?
I think we got a lot of really good and really diverse group of responses, where most people said that it's neither overrated nor underrated, that it's fairly rated, and that we're using AI, but we should be using it more. I think there is a statistic and I don't know how true that is, right? That something like 90% of cameras don't have analytics turned on, analytic enabled cameras, that is. And so making sure that we get to that percentage of, we're actually using the technology that's already in the cameras. We're putting it all together into some sort of a system that helps prioritize some of these alerts. That the quality of alerts is good and they're actionable, so security teams can do something with them and not just respond to false positives. So I think it's been the responses that I heard have been very much positive about the role of AI. And it's been great to hear that no one's overly, I think, worried about AI taking over jobs. I think everyone sees the future of AI as being augmentative and helping security teams do more with less, be more efficient, and be more precise and faster with that response, right? So I think it's been great to hear it from, I think we heard from end users, from integrators, from manufacturers, from consultants. So we've got a good diversity of opinions, and all of them have been pretty positive about AI. But I think, too, being totally fair, there is a little bit of that hype going on now where everyone says AI, everyone wants to have it in their products, and how much of that AI has actually been there. In my previous job, I got to connect with some of our product team and write a white paper on how we use AI in our technology.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, and what's been interesting is that they said, we always used AI. We were one of the pioneering companies to embed that in our technology. It was just not as not as spoken about. Yeah. We just did it because we needed to solve a problem, and now it has this label AI on it, and everyone's talking about it in a bit of a different light. Yeah. What's been kind of your impression of the AI labels and where the industry is moving with that technology?
So I think that Motorola did a good job being, at least from what I'm aware of, could be wrong, the first company to publicly put out, this is what we are using AI for. And I think we called it ingredients initially or something, right? I could be wrong. And so, but what that provides is transparency. And when you don't provide transparency, it looks like you're trying to do something not wrong, but it just looks like you're trying to hide something, right? And so being upfront with, this is how we are using AI, and there's the ingredients change all the time, right? And so we'll see how well we as Motorola keep up with changing the ingredients and how it's listed. And so when we when we scan that QR code, that actually takes us to a nutrition label of how AI is being used, and it's up to date, hopefully. So, but I think that it resonates, or maybe, I'm not sure if it resonates very well. Maybe we need to talk about it, evangelize it a little bit more. But I think that it is a good trend. And I say trend, it's not trending yet, but hopefully I would like to see other companies do the exact same. It's just good to know how we're doing it. It's when you go to a browser, right? And you're in Canada. I'm assuming it's the same, but you go to a web page and it tells you what information is being sent over, right? And I have the ability to reject that, which would be cool if we had the ability to say, no, I don't want to use it for that, and turn off. That'd be interesting.
And we do, right? There is options to, for example, so some of our cameras are Elevate enabled to connect to the cloud, but if you were to choose not to connect those cameras to Elevate Cloud, you can just not enable that feature. And so I do think we're quite good with ensuring that our products have that option of turning it off and not, we're not mining data from our customers, you know what I mean? But it's definitely interesting to see how different companies are talking about it, and sometimes how much smoke and mirrors there is when companies talk about AI and it's actually like a ChatGPT wrapper, right? And this is not necessarily about security, but I think coming from the world of marketing, so much of the AI tools are just the revamped ChatGPT. And how much of the actual innovation and work and research goes behind the products that we release.
Yeah, very, very true. We are fortunate that there are smarter people.
Yes.
doing that work.
I'm glad I'm not on that engineering team because AI is changing so fast and everything is moving seemingly at a lightning fast speed. And I know that, for our jobs, we have to keep up with social media trends and, stay on top of obviously the portfolio and what we're presenting to end users and partners whenever we speak. But it's a totally different thing when you have to actually put that all together, make it work, and make it a usable, viable product.
I can't, well, never mind. Not going to say that. Not going to say that. Any final words?
Final words. Andy, we miss you.
Andy?
We really miss you, friend.
My guy. It would be just right here, right in the middle, my guy. Well, no, we got to set in the APX. The APX order.
Yes. We need to get APX together, which sounds like we will be in a few short weeks, which I'm so excited about.
Cross fingers.
Yeah, but it's been phenomenal to be here at GSX. What a great opportunity. I think we got the most out of this conference as we could have.
Yeah.
I was really happy that we had a little bit more of a... We planned our schedule a bit better this time around, and so I think we weren't running around with chickens with their heads cut off, right? And I think, it was just great to reconnect with everyone, and I can't wait to do this again next time.
I know, right?
Next year.
I don't have any final words. Andy, you are missed. But your video was great.
Your video, hilarious. I was watching it this morning and just cracking up. So we miss you a lot. And again, for the team that was here, it was so great to spend time with you and catch up with you. Thank you for all the end users and partners who came by our booth and had great conversations with us and had those meaningful connections. We hope to be again here next year. Fingers crossed, presenting on stage.
Fingers crossed. Who do we need to talk to, GSX? ASIS? Do you not know the energy levels that the technical evangelist brings?
There's something that you do that's really special, that kind of evangelized Pelco out there. Could you remind me what that is?
Just at Pelco.
That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Pelco Brief. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. We'll be coming out with a lot more of these podcasts with end users, partners, and hopefully fellow evangelists. And next time, we'll make sure that the three of us are here together. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
Cheers.